Here we go, guys. It appears the beef has come to a stopping point. It appears they clearly still have beef. They clearly still do not like each other, and they have not reached a, you know, compromise, or there hasn't been a mediator to step in and make everybody hug and, kumbaya. Everybody still hates each other. But it appears the direct diss records have stopped for at least right now. It's Wednesday right now. I'm recording this. I intend to drop this on Friday. I hope nothing else drops between now and then because this video will kind of go up in smoke or have to come make some edits. So I'm hoping everything stays the way it is now. We're going to go ahead and do a tier list / rankings of how I had the beef going with all the diss songs. We're going to do the direct diss songs. Now, I'm going to show you here what we have on the tier list. So we start off, we have some of these sidebars. Like That is definitely a diss track. Might delete later the J. Cole track. Champagne Moments, the Rick Ross track. And then the Like That remix with Kanye. We're going to leave those out. I'm only going to include direct Kendrick to Drake diss records. That's all I'm including here. Direct Kendrick to Drake diss records. So the first one of those where we, pretty much recognize that this is going to be a straight on beef is going to be Push Ups. Now, Push Ups was Drake responding to Like That and taking the first direct shot at Kendrick, but he did not address Kendrick in the entire record. He addresses kind of the field, and that's kind of a running thing that we're going to say throughout this with some of the Drake records, is that he's continuing to address the field and not Kendrick. So we have our categories of Haymaker. I'm making bigger so you have to see. Top one being a Haymaker. That's the best you could possibly do. Next one is Fire. One after that is Cool. It was cool. Then Mid, and then could have kept that one. Like it didn't do any damage really. There's been a couple things I rated off of. Effectiveness, there can be effectiveness, how good the song actually is, but then within the song, how good the disses actually are, and then the last one is timing. I think those are kind of the four keys. So to start off with Push Ups, I'm gonna put Push Ups in the cool. It was cool. It was good. Good song. Drake is, as far as making a song, Drake is almost never going to miss it with making a song. I'm going to put it in cool because he didn't have the most, scathing disses to go towards Kendrick. Some of the best lines in the song were the shut your metro, shut your hoe ass up and make some drums. Some of the more memorable lines were not even in reference to Kendrick. The main disses that he had on it was his shoe size, his height, and dropping 50, his splits with his record company, which is, it's a decent diss, but it's also not covering all bases because it's a good diss, but it's not effective. And the reason why it's not effective is because that exact same diss has already been used on Drake himself. So it's kind of the pot calling the kettle black. Like you've had your own, issues with your label, with the Birdman stealing your money and how much percentage is Birdman getting, how much percentage is Lil Wayne getting, and Birdman has a boss and all of them are getting slices of it. It's just not super effective to me. So I'm gonna say Push Ups goes in the cool department. Okay, next one is gonna be Tailor Made. Tailor Made to me is the worst diss out of all of these. Tailor Made is going to go and could have kept that one. And the reason why Tailor Made is going to go and could have kept that one is me personally, I don't like the AI. I do like AI records, like people are making on their own. Like random people on YouTube making AI Weekend and featuring Drake, or AI Kendrick singing Keisha Cole or some shit. I love it. But intertwining that into a beef and using like AI Tupac to be like, kind of Slim Shady yourself, trying to say some of the disses that Kendrick is going to say against you, and then he still uses those disses that you tried to get out in front of, and it still works. It shows that this diss wasn't effective. You were begging him to drop. That's pretty much all this record. It's pretty much all this song was. There were no real disses on it. It was really just antagonizing him to drop. Which now, in hindsight, you begged him to drop, and then in the end, you're telling him to stop dropping. So this record just pretty much shot himself in the foot. And yeah, could have kept that one. I think he could have kept that Taylor Made. That's gonna go in the lowest tier possible. I think that's the worst track out of all these. Um, then we're gonna move to Euphoria. I loved Euphoria. Euphoria is the first diss from Kendrick, and I think the timing may have hurt this track a little bit, just because you know the timing gives a boost, but it's also hurts it a little bit. It hurts it a little bit because the expectations are now so high because we've been waiting so long for Kendrick to respond. Also, the timing helps Kendrick and helps his effectiveness because it shows that he's not on anyone else's time. The fact that he's not folding to, what the internet says. He's not folding to the internet narratives in any way. He stuck to his guns and he chose to drop when he felt like dropping and doesn't listen to the outside chatter. I think that that's a good thing. Um, Again, I love the song. I don't think he had the most hard disses. This is kind of a warning shot. Um, so I'm gonna put Euphoria in fire. I think Euphoria is fire. I think it's a great record, but not an absolute haymaker because it's not. I didn't listen to this song and go, "Oh my God, how is Drake gonna come back from this?" No, I went, "Damn, this is nice," but I think Drake could say this to that or this to that or that. Like I think Drake could counter this. So that's why I kept Euphoria right there in the fire category. Now we're gonna move on to, in my opinion, the most underrated diss of all of these, as far as a song. As far as a diss, again, he's not saying the absolute, most disrespectful haymaker, disgusting thing, and it's gonna, kill your reputation for life. It's not, some club banger song, but it is great timing, and it's a good song. So it has those two things going for it. The timing on this, you know, in Euphoria, when you're saying back to back, I like that record, and everybody's like, "Oh wait, is he saying that maybe he knows that Drake had a ghostwriter for back to back, or does he know something about that song, or does he know that he lied in back to back, or he's gonna call him on something in back to back?" But no, it actually turns out that he's about to go back to back on Drake twice, and this is the first of the two times that he went back to back. And I think in this instance and the other instance, the back to back, the first record seems to be, well, it actually flipped. On this one, the first record is like the hard hitting. I really tried hard on this one. I really want to, you know, throw some hard disses in this one. And then the second one is more of just putting the pressure on him, which is almost what Drake did with Push Ups and Taylor Made, but I just think Taylor Made was not effective at all. If it was just Drake rapping the whole time, it would have been better. But the AI just, I don't know, it's just, and then it getting taken down and all that shit just kind of ruined Taylor Made. So I'm gonna put 616 in LA in the cool section. Good song, good timing, but not really any hardcore disses. And the effectiveness is, doesn't really doesn't move the needle too much. Like it's the most, like I said, slept on song out of this whole series to me. Like people don't really talk about 616 in LA because right after 6 that's a tongue twister. Right after 616 in LA is when shit really got crazy. So it kind of gets forgotten. But I thought it was cool. So now this is where we get into the meat and potatoes of this overall beef. This is Family Matters from Drake. This is a haymaker. This is, in my opinion, Drake's nuke that he's been hyping up all this time. Um, it's a great song. It's effective with the disses. He brings up the Dave Free. I'm not gonna sit here and speculate because I think the people that continue to try to fact check this are kind of taking the fun out of it. Like if you're gonna fact check everything, you're never gonna be satisfied. All right. He brings up the Dave Free thing and he brings up the abuse, domestic abuse. These are two haymakers. These are disses. The song is absolutely crazy. He's going nuts. This is some of the best rapping I've ever heard in my life from Drake. The effectiveness is great. It puts Kendrick in a new light that we've never seen him in. It puts a chink in his armor that no one's ever thought about. And then the timing, that is the only thing that could kind of take a hit. It is great timing. It is great timing for about 40 minutes. And it did get stepped on, but I'm still going to count it as a haymaker just because the song is so good. The only complaint that I would have, which I wouldn't rank it as the absolute best diss song in this series, is because, again, he's still addressing the field. If this entire song was more similar to the third verse is insane. The second verse is insane. The first verse is decent, but the second and third verse he goes crazy. The third verse he goes crazy on Kendrick. The second verse he's talking about Weeknd. He's talking about ASAP. He's talking about Rick Ross. He's talking about Weeknd's manager. It's just too much, and that's actually what I think led to a big mistake that he made in the beef is looking all over there and all over here and all over there and not knowing that this dude right in front of you is trying to take your head off and you're still focused on these dudes that dissed you 2-3 weeks ago. You already addressed them on push-ups. You already addressed them on push-ups. You already addressed Ross on push-ups. You already addressed Metro on push-ups. You already addressed Future and all of them on push-ups. But the fact that he addresses them all does take a little bit of steam off of TaylorMade. Or not TaylorMade, I'm sorry. Family Matters. It does take a little bit of steam off of Family Matters, but still it's a haymaker. It's incredible. And it's gonna age. I think it's gonna age amazingly, even though it did get stepped on in the moment, which makes him, kind of take a hit. That song is gonna age very well because it's just so good. And then now we're gonna go to Meet the Grams. Now Meet the Grams is Kendrick put on a masterclass in this beef because every Kendrick record is a completely different type of song. Euphoria, he's kind of all over the place. Euphoria, he's kind of doing everything. It's not a party record, but it's not a slow record. It's not like over an Al Green sample or something. He has a moment in it where it's over a slow sample. Then he heats it up. He turns, Euphoria gives you a little bit of everything. 616 in LA is kind of the slow beat, just straight bars over a slow, mellow beat. That's cool. Meet the Grams is the story of Adidon, slowed down, I'm just talking to you record. This is not made for replay value. This is not played for the radio. This is not played for the car. This is straight disrespect, straight violation, straight diss. And that's why I would put, as a song, I like 616 in LA and Push Ups. Both of these that are in the cool section. I'll probably replay these more than Meet the Grams. But as far as all the criteria, key being timing, the fact that it took the sales off an absolute haymaker. Drake had a haymaker, but you stepped on it with this. Good song, great disses. Good song, incredible disses, good tea, incredible timing, incredible effectiveness. So 3 out of the 4 are covered amazingly. The song is cool, amazing beat. Not going to replay it, but this is going to go in fire. I've got to put Meet the Grams in fire. And the fact that he was able to step on an absolute Drake's nuke. This was Drake's nuke. And the fact that you're able to step on it within 40 minutes, even if the daughter shit, I didn't even believe that in the moment. You can erase the daughter verse, and you can just have the verse to Adonis, the verse to his mother, the verse to his dad, and the best verse of them all to me, the verse directly to Drake at the end. And this still steps on Family Matters. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Family Matters. I keep saying I keep getting these names mixed up. It still steps on it even without that kid accusation. I'm not gonna be Mr. Fact Check. This is a beef, guys. They're gonna stretch the truth. They're gonna try to make each other look more shitty than they probably actually are. Obviously. So that's gonna go in fire. Now, I'm gonna say this right here is the biggest haymaker of them all. This is the number one song in the entire beef. Not Like Us. Not Like Us has everything. This is the second time he's going back to back on Drake. He's back to back. I like that record. He's using your own thing on you. His second time going back to back on Drake, and he counters beautifully with the disrespect record that's got everybody literally like uncomfortable. Like, oh my God, this is evil. This is crazy. Like, oh my God, he's talking so disrespectful. And then follows up with that same disrespect on a record you can dance to. The one thing that people say, yeah, Kendrick can rap, rapidy rap. He's cool for all the rapidy rap fans, but he can. I ain't playing him in the club. I ain't playing him in the car. I ain't playing him when I'm getting ready to go out. Just the one. You'll play this. You play this anywhere. Not Like Us has the disses. The third verse is insane. Like a lot of people are focusing on, of course, the A minor and then the, certified pedophile. Some of those lines are great. They're catchy. That's one thing that Drake is the guy for that. The back to back. He had lines that people never forget about Meek. Is that your girl's tour or your world tour? Shit that people can drop, haters can drop under his comments forever and people eat it up. Kendrick gave like 10 of those. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. People are going to say that shit about Drake. He ain't going to be able to get that off of him forever. OVO, other vaginal option. Certified boogeyman. OVO. These are things that are going to stick and be heard around the culture and be dropped under Drake's comments for years to come. And that's why this is an absolute haymaker. And it's an amazing song. It's already been played. To see Rick Ross playing it at the pool party, and then I see random civilians seeing it being played out. I've heard it played out already. This is the best song in this. This is incredible. Execution, amazing. Disses, amazing. Disrespectful and also catchy, amazing. The song, amazing. And then the timing, amazing, because he went back to back after you just disrespected the shit out of him. People are already looking at him funny. You're going to put those same accusations in an up-tempo record that people can have replay value on. That's why Not Like Us is the biggest haymaker in this entire beef. That's when it was over to me, pretty much. And then we have The Heart Part 6, which is Drake was rapping on this. Drake was rapping on this. He had some bars in it. He had a good flow to it. He has a great beat. This is actually the bag that I love Drake to be in. This is my favorite Drake bag. This type of beat, this type of instrumental, this type of, pace. But he had some questionable bars. The pretty much saying like if I was a pedophile, the Epstein angle, I expected it. If I was a pedophile, I would have been caught by now. I'm way too famous to get away with something like that. And then the thing about the, mother eyes sober, where he tries to flip that on Kendrick and say that Kendrick's obsessed with it because Kendrick was molested when that's not even what he said in the song. It's almost, it just sounds rushed. Like musically, this is maybe something that could have some replay value, but the replay value is taken away because, bro, there's pedophile bars. And not even like funny A minor. It's like you'll never see Drake on a pedophile registry. It's like, bro, that is, imagine a pulling up. Imagine this right now. Imagine pulling up next to somebody at a stoplight. They got their window down, and you hear, "You'll never hear my name on a somebody." You hear somebody rapping, "You'll never see my name on no sex offender registry." You'll be like, "What the fuck is he listening to?" Like some of those cringe bars in there, it was a lose lose. Really, it's a lose lose. You can either not address it, or you can address it, and it's gonna sound cringe. Any way you, there's no fly way to rap. I'm not a pedophile and sound cool. It's just gonna sound bad. So honestly, I don't even know what he could have said to that. I don't even fault him. This is probably the best he could have done. But the cards were stacked against him once he got to this point, and Kendrick backed him into a corner where he had to defend himself. Also, your tone changed. Your tone changed. You went from Mr. Drop and give me 50. Hey, we waiting on you. How many days it's been? Let's put the counter on. 14 days since Kendrick has replied. 15 days since Kendrick. You put the counter on him. You put the pressure on him. And then he dropped. And he keeps dropping. And he goes back to back on you. Then you drop your nuke. Then he goes back to back on your nuke. And now he's got a club banger that people are singing in the clubs about you being a creep. People are looking up old videos of you that makes you look like a creep. You know, these, like a lot of people are saying like, yo, why are people not mad at the domestic violence? Why is the domestic violence not hitting as hard as the pedophile bars? The reason why is because there's a paper trail that leads to Drake before this beef even came. It's easier to latch on to an already existing narrative and add to it than it is to start a brand new narrative from scratch about a guy that people look at as clean. Like people already look at Drake as low key like a bachelor piece of shit, you know, rolling with young women. That's a thing. That's always been a thing. That's always been a thing. And now he's making people look more into it with these records versus the Drake. Yeah, you're saying, you know, the domestic violence stuff. People are looking at that people are kind of like searching this for like, oh really? Wait, let me go search that. And people are trying to dig and people are trying to do their research and find things. And there's some, article like kind of hard to understand articles that are like it was debunked, but the wife never said anything, but his wife doesn't say anything at all. She's not a public figure. And then, she unfollowed Kendrick and Kendrick doesn't follow her, but Kendrick doesn't follow anybody on Instagram and he doesn't post. So like a lot of that shit is just hard to actually legitimize those disses as much. And also, just on this song, your tone is just bad. The end he's talking about, I'm gonna go on vacation because he's basically saying that Kendrick has like dragged this out too much, and he's like tired of it. When he's the one that begged him, you wanted this. You said, "Oh, you gonna have to hit me with one of those triple double entendres." Yeah, he just did. He did exactly what you said. He's gonna hit you with a triple double entendre. Yeah, he did. And now you're talking about, oh yeah, I know you got 10 more records. Yeah, go ahead and drop them. I'm done. Like you're pretty much waving the white flag. I know he still left the window open where we could see more disses, and he's not conceding, he's not saying it, but the tone, and he's kind of alluding to it. So for that reason, this is going in mid. Even though there's some good rapping on this, some of these lines and the tone just really throw that off for me as a song completely. So let's look at our tier list here. How do I look at the full screen version? Oh, this is the full screen version. All right. Or should I go ahead and do these other ones? So we got Not Like Us, Haymaker. That's my number one record. If I'm ranking these as just songs, so forget about this tier list right here. Forget about this tier list. Take this out of your head. If I'm ranking them just as a song, not as disses, I would say Not Like Us, Family Matters, Euphoria, 616 in LA, Push Ups, Meet the Grams, The Hard Part 6, Tailor Made. That would be my ranking as just a song. But as a diss, where I take all the factors that I included, I would say Not Like Us was number one. Number two, still Family Matters. It was very effective for the 46 minutes that it was there. Three, as a diss, would be Meet the Grams. Four, as a diss, would be Euphoria. Five, as a diss, would be probably Push Ups. Yeah. Six would be 616 in LA. Seven would be the Hard Part 6. And then eight would be Tailor Made Freestyle. So as far as like the best song and the best diss, it's a similar list. It's not too different. And if I wanted to throw in, like these down here would be so extra because you could take this all the way back to first person shooter if you really want to talk about all the disses. But like that is obviously a haymaker. J. Cole, I mean, come on, bro. Could have kept that one. Rick Ross was mid. Rick Ross was cool. It didn't hurt. It didn't affect. It didn't have any effectiveness, but it's a good song, and it was cool timing. Kanye West could have kept. If there was a level below, could have kept that one. That's where I would put Kanye's shit. That shit was bad. The beat was incredible, but holy shit. But yeah. Let me know what y'all think about the tier list. I think. Oh, overall, I gave the beef to Kendrick. Kendrick won. Kendrick won. I'm sorry. Kendrick won. It's over. Hopefully, if Drake wants to continue it, he's got to come with a haymaker because right now that the tone that he had on that last diss was, it's over. And Kendrick has no reason to drop anything. His last diss, Not Like Us, has literally been number one for 2 days in a row now. It's tracking to be. It already is like the top hip hop record this whole year. He can literally just steamroll this beef right into a music video, right into an album, right into a whole victory lap. Whereas Drake's, reputation is forever damaged by this. It really is. It really is forever damaged by this. It's crazy. We went into this with a big three: Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. And at the end of it, Kendrick is leaving almost unscathed, not completely unscathed. People are looking at him a little bit different for the domestic violence, even though if somebody finds evidence, like some real evidence of like, a victim with a bloody face or a video or something, he will be seen different forever as well. But right now, it's just there's not as much validity to the accusations versus Drake. Drake, these are accusations that people have been saying, and now it's elevated by a big voice. So now everyone's looking at him different. Drake will forever be looked at different. J. Cole will forever be looked at different for bowing out. Both of them, reputations will forever be damaged in some people's eyes because of this, 2, 3, 4 weeks of performance that Kendrick put on. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. How much, a lot of these records happen within like 5 days. Or like 2 days. Because I think Euphoria was a Thursday, right? Wasn't Euphoria like a Thursday or a Tuesday or something? Euphoria was a weekday. 616 in LA was a Friday. I think. No. Let me say it again. Euphoria was a Tuesday, I believe. Euphoria was a Tuesday. 616 in LA was a Thursday. Um, Family Matters was a Friday night. Meet the Grams was a Friday night. Not Like Us was a Saturday night or Saturday evening. And then the Heart Part 6 was that Sunday. So all this shit happened in a weekend. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Salute to both of these guys. You know, I know it's not looking good for Drake right now. You know, a lot of his fans are still in shambles on the internet. Um, you know, people will probably look at him different forever. If the accusations are true, then of course, then fuck it. He probably deserves it. But if the accusations are true and it's just, you know, a casualty of the beef, then hey, salute to you. Salute, respect that you were able to step up to the plate after what happened with Pusha T. You still were ready to step up to the table. But I think actually he made the same mistake he did in the Pusha T beef, which is escalating it to the families. He brought up Whitney, just like he brought up Virginia Williams. He brought up Whitney in push ups. He said the wife's name, just like the last beef. You escalate it to the families, and then the other person continues to escalate it, and then it gets to a certain point, and you can't handle it anymore. That's exactly what happened here again. It's exactly you were very excited, you were ready to go in the Pusha T beef until Pusha brought up the kid, and now you're tapping out. You were very excited, you were very ready to go in this beef until the pedophile accusations came up, and now you're like, this is corny. Now I'm out. So I would just say you can't you can't beef with somebody who gives a fuck less than you, because they're gonna continue to escalate, and you're gonna want to stop. So that's my advice to Drake. Um, so yeah, I thought Kendrick got it. What I said I want to say. Yeah, man. Shout out to both of them. Shout out to hip hop. This is, you know, last year was one of the slowest years in hip hop, and this year is incredible. Um, this beef is pretty much over, and now we're moving right over to this Friday. We got Chief Keef finally dropping Almighty Soul. Gunna new album, Future new mixtape. Like, come on, this year is just cooking, man. And I love it. I absolutely love 2024. This is a historic year for hip hop, and I'm gonna continue to keep reacting to everything that's going on. Thank you guys that have joined us through this beef, or if you've been here before, shout out to y'all as well. I think the biggest winners in this beef would be, of course, Kendrick, but the two other winners outside of this, Pusha T and J. Cole. Because Pusha T, even though Kendrick did an excellent job, even though Kendrick did a, you know, surgical performance, it took him 5 songs to get Drake out of there. Pusha T did it in 2 minutes. Storia Adidon got him clean up out of there in about 2 minutes. And then J. Cole's the biggest winner because none of his tea got spilled and he got the fuck out the way. Shout out to you, J. Cole. A lot of people was shitting on you, but who knows? He might have skeletons in his closet that he don't want dug up, and he don't have too much ego, like Drake might have. Too much ego to say, damn, maybe it's not worth getting in this because I know they gonna say this. So he got the hell out of here. So shout out to J. Cole, shout out to Pusha T. Big W for y'all, big W for Kendrick, and big W for hip hop as a whole. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all's tier list or rankings of songs in this beef will be. And like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to you guys. I'll be reacting to all music, not just rap, hip hop. I'll be reacting to music. I take suggestions, you know, Instagram, Discord. Send me good shit, and I'll react to it. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Much love.